From teaching to story time and Gensokyo cards? Hello, Magi here, and welcome back to another episode of Top 5 Touhou Doujin Works. The series where I take a look at Touhou Doujin Works I or you guys have noticed throughout the week and had the need to tell you guys about it. So without further ado, let's begin the Top 5 Touhou Doujin Works number 14. Number 5. As we know, Kane is a teacher. Being a teacher, she, teaches kids. Sometimes she likes to bring guests in to help out. The work called Read Me a Story, Miss Patchy, created by Courage Taro, starts off with what I just said. Kane has people come in to do reading aloud. The kids at the school had people like Kozuzu and even Marissa. Kane this time has her sights on Patchy. Patchy is not thrilled about the suggestion and declines it until she realizes one of her books is at the school. Let's just say Kane is one slick teacher, that's for sure. Having no choice in the matter, Patchy comes to the school to read aloud. Her reading is, very hypnotic? It puts the kids to sleep, it's something. After a rant from Romelia, Patchy decides to show everyone why that book was as good as Patchy believed it to be. The results are much better this time. Check it out if you want to see Patchy as a kindergarten teacher. Number 4. This story is similar to the last one in the fact that it involves Kane, children, and school, but the theme is completely different. So this work called Flowers That Bloom from Boundaries, created by Moku, is a story where the teacher this time is not Patchy, but Yuka. Yeah, this sounds like a scary situation already. Anyway, here Yuka is teaching kids on how to plant seeds and growing flowers. It's all fine and dandy until Yuka returns once more to school and on her way notices the fear the villagers had in their eyes when she walked past them. Kane believes that humans and yokai can coexist with one another, while Yuka on the other hand is not as optimistic as Kane is. Yuka was only meant to be teaching until the kids' plants had fully grown. Just as Yuka was freed from the school, it turns out that one of the kids had gone missing. This work is a 2-part, and don't worry, the second part is out so you can read it after the first work. Both works show an interesting dynamic between Yuka and the interaction between all the different kinds of humans, and how things are not as black and white when it comes to her motives. A definite read for Yuka fans are those who like the whole yokai and human relationship concept. Number 3. So what happens when you pair up the fantasy world of Gensokyo with vehicles of all types and you have them racing each other? Total chaos. This work called Hakurei Kuma Rally 2010, created by Paranoia Cat, suggested by, gonna butcher this as well, Jose Ruben Uribe Ruska. Now the unusual thing is that you have to read from left to right, which is different. As you're aware, manga works are usually read from right to left. Aside from that, the premise is that the girls are racing from the shrine to the forest of magic, the nameless hell, the underground geyser route, the bamboo forest, and ending at the lakeshore. With this route, many types of vehicles come into play, and I mean many, from kickboards, cars, motorcycles, a fucking tank, which is, questionable in a bloody race. But they make it work. It's pretty much Touhou with Mario Karts on steroids pretty much. The winner of the race, the one who bloody lives obviously. Number 2. As you may or may not know, Gensokyo is divided by the Hakurei barrier. Whenever something comes in or out, it's usually hard for it to go back where it came from. Now imagine if that happened to someone you knew and you weren't aware of it. The name of the work is called Muted Afterflow, created by Iho, suggested by Cryomancer Nano. Begins with Marissa going into Corndo. This time, however, Renosuke isn't there. She figures that Renosuke went somewhere to gather stuff and stays there until he comes back. A day passes by and he still hasn't returned home. There she goes to Muenzuka, hoping to find Renosuke. She doesn't meet him there, but she does encounter Eiki. Marissa asks if Eiki knows where Renosuke is. To no avail, Eiki has no answer, but she did say he wasn't dead, so that's something. It isn't until Eiki looks into her crystal mirror about Renosuke that the judge figures out the truth regarding his whereabouts, or lack of anyway. From there on, Marissa recalls her earliest memories with Ryunosuke and goes to search for him in the second part. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, but this work is also another 2-part. So after reading the first part, you can check the second with no worries when it comes to waiting for sequels. Number 1. Now call me crazy here, but have any of you guys thought of adoption? Specifically one of the supernatural, if you will? Probably not, but these people have. Days Woven with Illusion 2, Girl of the Dusk, created by Genso Komuten, suggested by Arc Change, has, well, people adopting the younger looking yokais. That's different, I'll give them that. This story focuses on Rumia and her parental guardian of Hansel and Gretel. They own a bakery. I get the feeling it's supposed to be a nod towards the Hansel and Gretel story I recall hearing when I was younger. So Rumia is living happily with the two when one day some of the other members of Team 9 were talking about how they called their parental guardians like Mama, Papa, Grandpa, Grandma, etc. Rumia is the only one who calls her guardians by their names. After spending some time with Team 9, Rumia goes out and tries to call them Mama and Papa, but to no avail. A few days later, Rumia gets sick and Hansel and Gretel have no clue why. Raisin gives her explanation of what could possibly happen when the worst case scenario happens. Let's just say ex-Rumia is around for a reason. But no matter what, the strength a parent exhibits is perhaps one of the strongest things you will ever see as shown in this work. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Which Doujin work are you going to check out later? Would you like to see Patchouli or Yuka as a teacher? Would you love to see Mario Kart on crack in Gensokyo? Or do you want to see adorable Rumia with her parents? Like always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Or else ex-Rumia might come for me. And there's a good chance I'll end up dead. Either way, this is Magi and thanks again for watching.